AstroVastu interior design for Cancer rising. A moon-led, water-anchored spatial doctrine for emotional safety, nervous system containment, and deep rest for aware, empathic, and high-sensitivity individuals. What you are designing here is not a house. You are designing an emotional shell for a moon-ruled life. As a Cancer rising, space either contains and protects you or quietly overwhelms you until emotional fatigue, mood swings, and withdrawal become your baseline. When the environment is wrong, the symptoms are subtle but exhausting. Feeling on edge at home, difficulty resting deeply, emotional reactivity without clear triggers, digestive sensitivity, and the constant sense that you need to retreat further just to feel okay. Your home must never feel sharp, performative, or overstimulating. It must feel safe, familiar, and softly enclosing, like a place your nervous system recognizes as shelter. Nash 1. First house. Lagna zone, overall spatial identity, lunar containment field. You should treat your Lagna zone as the emotional envelope of the entire home. The moment you enter, your body must feel, I am protected here. If this zone feels exposed, overly open, or visually harsh, your moon never relaxes, and emotional vigilance becomes constant. You must prioritize containment, softness, and predictability. Energy should not rush through this space. It should arrive, slow down, and settle. Large open voids, sharp sightlines, or aggressive symmetry destabilize Cancer deeply. Work with soft, nurturing colors. Warm off-white, creamy beige, pale peach, soft dove gray, muted sea green. These tones soothe the emotional body. You may introduce gentle accents in blush, moon silver, or powder blue, but avoid strong contrast. High contrast creates emotional alertness. Furniture must feel protective and familiar. Sofas and chairs should have rounded edges, soft upholstery, and supportive backs. Avoid furniture that feels skeletal, angular, or purely aesthetic. Your body needs to feel held. Lighting here must be warm, diffused, and even. Harsh white light overstimulates the moon. Dramatic shadows create subconscious anxiety. Lamps with fabric shades are far better than exposed bulbs. You may place one comforting focal element, a family photo, a soft artwork, a ceramic piece, or a stone bowl. If you work with crystals, moonstone or rose quartz can be placed quietly, never displayed prominently. Avoid glass-heavy decor, mirrors that reflect the entrance, or anything that makes the space feel like a passageway rather than a nest. This zone must feel emotionally enclosing. 2. Second house. Main entrance and threshold, emotional filter, safety and belonging. Your entrance determines how much emotional noise enters your life each day. For Cancer rising, this zone must act as a filter, not an open gate. You should prioritize the north and northeast as they support calm processing and emotional grounding. Aggressive entrances, dark doors, loud colors, or harsh lighting immediately trigger defensiveness. The door should feel welcoming and protective. Natural wood, soft cream, pale gray, or gentle blue work best. Avoid black, dark red, or glossy finishes. Hardware should be smooth and rounded, nothing sharp or industrial. Lighting here must be warm and reassuring. Shadows at the threshold create subconscious anxiety. This space should feel like being received, not inspected. You should keep the entrance uncluttered but gentle. A soft mat, paired elements, or a subtle plant are supportive. If you use crystals, a small moonstone or rose quartz placed to the side, never facing the door, helps filter emotional input. Avoid mirrors facing the entrance, shoe clutter, loud decor, or hanging objects that move unpredictably. This zone should quietly say, you are safe to enter. 3. Third house, living room, emotional exchange and gentle connection. This space governs how you interact with people without depletion. If this zone is sharp, overstimulating, or visually busy, you may feel emotionally exhausted after even pleasant social time. You should design this space for gentle interaction, not stimulation. Use soft neutrals, warm pastels, muted blues or greens. Avoid bold patterns, high contrast, or dramatic statement walls. Furniture should encourage closeness without pressure. Rounded seating arrangements, soft cushions, and layouts that feel embracing work best. Avoid confrontational seating or wide-open, exposed layouts. Lighting must be layered and warm. Floor lamps and table lamps are preferable to strong overhead lights. This allows emotional pacing. You may enhance the space with comforting textures, throws, cushions, soft rugs, and art that feels nurturing rather than provocative. Cancer connects through emotional tone, not visual impact. Avoid sharp corners, excessive minimalism, or decor that feels designed rather than lived in. When aligned, connection feels nourishing instead of draining. Chapter 4. Fourth house. Emotional core, inner safety, rest and belonging. This is the most important zone for Cancer rising. If this space is wrong, no other correction fully holds. You should design this area for familiarity and emotional consistency. Sudden changes, experimental decor, or visual chaos destabilize you deeply. Use warm, earthy water tones: sand, clay, warm taupe, soft moss, pale terracotta. These colors ground emotion without heaviness. Furniture must feel deeply comfortable and known. This is not the place for new or edgy pieces. This is where your emotional body exhales. Lighting should be soft, steady, and warm. Flicker, dramatic dimming, or color-changing lights disturb the mood. Candles are supportive here if used gently and regularly. You should include personal, meaningful objects, family photos, heirlooms, familiar textures. These are not clutter for Cancer. They are emotional anchors. Avoid mirrors, hollow acoustics, or empty expanses. This zone must feel like a safe shell, not a display space. Core Cancer AstroVastu law: containment creates safety. Safety creates emotional strength. Emotional strength creates resilience. When your home feels soft, predictable, and protective, the moon expresses as emotional intelligence, deep bonding, intuitive clarity, and restorative rest. If your space feels exposed, noisy, or performative, the moon never settles, and neither do you. This is not cozy decor. This is emotional, nervous system architecture for a moon-led life. Chapter 5. Fifth house. Emotional joy, play, and creative safety. Gentle happiness without overexposure. This is where you learn how to experience joy without emotional risk. For Cancer rising, joy is not loud, dramatic, or performative. It is quiet, relational, and emotionally warm. When this space is overstimulating or overly expressive, your moon withdraws, and joy turns into anxiety, over-attachment, or emotional self-monitoring. You should design this zone to feel soft, playful, and emotionally safe. Use warm pastels, blush, pale peach, soft aqua, muted lavender, or creamy tones. These colors allow happiness to arise without triggering vulnerability. Furniture should invite closeness and comfort rather than activity for activity's sake. Low seating, soft cushions, daybeds, or window seats work beautifully here. Avoid rigid chairs, sharp edges, or furniture that demands posture. Lighting must be warm and forgiving. This is an excellent zone for soft lamps and gentle candlelight, always stable and consistent. Flicker should soothe, not dramatize. You may enhance this space with creative tools, art supplies, music, or objects tied to fond memories. Cancer's creativity is emotional and relational. Crystals like moonstone, rose quartz, or pearl tone stones can support emotional joy if placed subtly. Avoid bold themes, loud art, or anything that feels like performance. When aligned, joy feels natural, bonding deepens, and creativity becomes emotionally replenishing rather than draining. Sixth house, kitchen and emotional nourishment, mood stability through care. For you, food is emotional continuity. This zone governs not just digestion, but mood regulation, family harmony, and daily emotional safety. When the kitchen feels rushed, chaotic, or overstimulating, emotional imbalance shows up quickly. You should keep this space warm, calm, and predictable. Favor creamy whites, soft yellow, pale green, warm wood, or light beige. Avoid stark white, harsh contrast, or dark cabinetry that feels heavy. The layout must support ease. Everything you use daily should be accessible without searching. Struggling here creates subtle emotional irritation that later surfaces as mood swings or withdrawal. Lighting should be warm but clear. Shadows over preparation areas destabilize both digestion and emotional rhythm. You should include fresh, nurturing elements: herbs, fruits, flowers, things that signal care. Copper cookware or traditional utensils feel grounding to the moon. Avoid treating this zone as a storage dump or high-speed workspace. When aligned, eating patterns stabilize, emotional nourishment improves, and daily care feels reciprocal rather than burdensome. 7. Seventh house. Master bedroom, emotional rest, and relational trust. This is the most critical rest zone for Cancer rising. If the bedroom is wrong, emotional insecurity persists even in loving relationships. You must design this space for deep emotional reassurance. Use soft earth water tones, warm gray, muted beige, pale blue, blush, or soft lavender. Avoid sharp contrasts, bold prints, or high-energy colors. The bed must feel substantial and protective. A solid headboard is essential. It gives the moon something to lean into emotionally. Symmetry on both sides of the bed reinforces trust and equality. Lighting must be very soft and warm. Bedside lamps are far preferable to overhead lights. Natural fabrics, cotton, linen, wool are non-negotiable here. Synthetic textures keep the moon alert. Candles and gentle fragrance are supportive if they feel familiar and calming. Mirrors must never face the bed. Reflection here creates emotional vigilance and sleep disturbance. When this zone is aligned, sleep deepens, attachment softens into trust, and relationships feel safe rather than emotionally demanding. 8. 8th house. Storage, memory, and emotional residue. Letting go without loss. This zone governs stored emotions, memories, and subconscious attachments. Cancer rising absorbs emotional history easily, and clutter here becomes emotional weight. You must keep this space orderly, closed, and emotionally neutral. Open storage amplifies memory loops. Everything should be contained and intentional. Use soft neutrals, off-white, stone gray, warm beige. Avoid emotionally charged colors or decor that pulls you into the past. You should regularly review what you store here. Objects tied to unresolved grief, guilt, or obligation quietly drain emotional energy. Release must be gentle, not forced. Enhance with storage boxes, clear organization, and perhaps one grounding object like a stone or ceramic. Crystals such as smoky quartz or moonstone can support emotional release if used discreetly. Avoid broken items, forgotten belongings, or emotional memorabilia you are not ready to process. When balanced, emotional resilience strengthens, mood heaviness lifts, and the past loosens its grip. Here, the moon learns that safety does not require holding on to everything. 9. 9th house. Emotional meaning, faith, and inner trust. Stability of belief without emotional overload. This is where you make sense of your feelings instead of being ruled by them. For Cancer rising, belief systems must soothe the heart, not overwhelm it. When this space is chaotic, overly intellectual, or emotionally charged, faith weakens and emotional confusion sets in. You should design this zone to feel calm, reassuring, and gently expansive. Use soft creams, warm parchment, pale gold, muted aqua, or light sand tones. These colors support trust without stimulation. Furniture should feel supportive and dignified. A comfortable reading chair, a small writing desk, or a quiet prayer meditation corner. Avoid casual sprawl or heavy furniture that feels oppressive. Lighting must be soft and focused. Harsh lighting destabilizes emotional reflection, while dim lighting leads to rumination. Balance is essential. You may place spiritual symbols, books, or objects of meaning, but only those that genuinely comfort you. Cancer needs faith that feels personal, not imposed. Crystals like moonstone or aquamarine can gently support emotional trust. Avoid clutter, ideological decor, or anything that pushes intensity. When aligned, intuition deepens, emotional wisdom grows, and trust in life stabilizes. 10th house. Work, care, and emotional authority responsibility without burnout. This zone governs how you hold responsibility in the world. For Cancer rising, work must feel humane and emotionally manageable. When this space is harsh or demanding, burnout follows quickly. You should keep this area calm, orderly, and emotionally neutral. Use warm neutrals, soft gray, beige, muted blue. Avoid aggressive power colors or high contrast schemes. Furniture should support comfort without indulgence. Chairs must be supportive. Desks should feel approachable, not imposing. Everything you need daily should be within easy reach to reduce emotional strain. Lighting must be even and non-intrusive. Avoid harsh spotlights or dim corners that increase emotional fatigue. You may display a small number of symbols that represent care, contribution, or service, but avoid trophies or ego-driven decor. Cancer authority grows through nurturing consistency. When aligned, productivity feels sustainable, responsibility feels lighter, and career stress reduces without loss of purpose. Nahat 11th house. Support systems and emotional circulation, belonging without obligation. This zone governs how emotional support flows into your life. For Cancer rising, erratic social energy or unstable networks quietly destabilize the moon. You should design this space to feel open yet gentle. Use light neutrals, soft blues, or muted greens. Avoid emotionally intense decor or dramatic statements. Furniture should encourage ease and informal connection. Nothing should feel rigid or demanding. Plants are especially supportive here. They reinforce natural emotional circulation. Ventilation is important. Stagnant air here often shows up as feeling unsupported or emotionally isolated. Avoid clutter, emotional memorabilia, or objects tied to obligation. When balanced, support feels reliable, belonging deepens, and community nourishes rather than drains. 12th house, emotional release, deep rest and surrender. I am safe even when I let go. This zone teaches Cancer rising the most important lesson. Rest does not equal abandonment. It governs sleep, emotional release, and deep restoration. You must keep this space extremely soft and minimal. Pale beige, warm off-white, or gentle gray work best. This zone should feel almost empty, but protective. Furniture must be minimal and comforting. Clear floor space matters. This is not a storage zone. Lighting must be indirect and very gentle. No overhead glare, no visual drama. Candles are acceptable if they feel soothing and familiar. You may place one grounding object only, a stone, a simple bowl, or a neutral fabric. Crystals like moonstone or smoky quartz can support emotional release if used sparingly. Avoid mirrors, emotional decor, or anything that invites memory loops. This space exists to allow the moon to rest without guarding. When these final zones are aligned, your emotions no longer flood or withdraw. They flow, rest, and renew. This is not interior styling. This is emotional containment architecture for a moon-led life.